Welcome to the Man in the Middle. I am your host, Bill West. Today we are talking about Star Trek Starfleet Academy. The news yesterday is that it's ending. This was on Variety. It's an exclusive to them, or at least it was as of 10 o'clock yesterday morning. Uh, that would be March 23rd, 2026. This is by Joe Otterson. Once again, on Variety, variety.com. Come on, go away. Star Trek Starfleet Academy will end with its upcoming second season, Variety has learned exclusively. The show was originally picked up at Paramount Plus in 2023, with the streamer renewing the show for a second season before the first had aired. The first season debuted in January and aired its season finale on March 12th, while the second season recently wrapped production. We're incredibly proud of the ambition, passion, and creativity that went into bringing Star Trek Starfleet Academy to life, CBS Studios and Paramount Plus said in a joint statement. The series introduced audiences to a bold new group of characters, welcomed familiar faces, and expanded the Star Trek universe in exciting new ways. We're grateful to Alex Kurtzman, Noga Landau, Gaia Violo, and the entire cast and crew who pushed the storytelling boundaries in the spirit of Gene Roddenberry's vision. We look forward to sharing the upcoming second and final season with everyone and continuing to celebrate the cast, crew, and all that was accomplished with this series. The first season of Starfleet Academy reached an 87% critical approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with Variety's Aramid Tinbu describing it as a delightful entry point into the franchise, but the show failed to find a significant audience. Across its 10-episode first season, it failed to rank the Nielsen Top 10 streaming viewership charts. Starfleet Academy takes place after the events of Star Trek Discovery in the 32nd century. The show follows the first class of students and teachers to attend the newly established Starfleet Academy. The cast includes Sandra Rosta, Karen Dan, Carius Brooks, George Hawkins, Bella Shepard, and Zoe Steiner, as well as Holly Hunter, Paul Giamatti, Gina Yashir, Star Trek Voyager alumna Robert Picardo, and Discovery star Nick Tig Notaro. Tatiana Maslany appeared in a guest role. Series co-runners and executive producers Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau penned a letter in which they expressed their appreciation to the hundreds of hardworking humans who pour every ounce of their talents into the making of the show. Whether you're working on Star Trek or part of the marvel that is Star Trek fandom, it's very heart, soul, and conscience. The joy comes from adventuring across the boundaries of space, time, and the humanly possible in service to Roddenberry's transformative vision of the future, the pair wrote. That incomparable vision was fueled by an inexhaustible optimism. Star Trek places its bet on the best in human nature. It dares to imagine a society of infinite diversity and infinite combinations, free of war, hate, poverty, disease, repression, and dedicated to the spirit of scientific inquiry and respect for all life, whether carbon or silicon-based, green-skinned or blue. The full letter can be read below. Kurtzman has been the steward of the newest iteration of the Star Trek TV franchise for a decade. His current overall deal with CBS Studios via his secret hideout production company runs through the end of 2026. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, Kurtzman and CBS Studios are currently in talks for a new deal that will keep him in the CBS fold. In addition to his work on Star Trek, he has produced shows like the Hawaii Five-O reboot, Scorpion, and Salvation. In addition to the upcoming second season of Starfleet Academy, there are also two more seasons to come of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Season 4 of the latter shows, is expected to be released later this year, while the fifth and final season recently completed production. The kids' animated series Star Trek Scouts also currently airs on YouTube in partnership with Nickelodeon Digital Studios. Beyond that, the future of the franchise remains uncertain. At the time of this publishing, no new shows have been announced as being in development. Paramount is said to remain very high on the Star Trek IP, however, with a new Star Trek movie currently in development. Along with Kurtzman and Landau, Starfleet Academy is produced by Gaia Violo, A.N. Bears. I don't want to mess their name up, so I'm not going to even try. Jenny Lumet, Rod Roddenberry, Trevor Roth, Frank Saracusa, and John Weber. The series premiere episode was written by Violo and directed by Kurtzman. CBS Studios produces in association with Secret Hideout and Roddenberry Entertainment. The series is distributed by Paramount Global Content Distribution. Okay, and here's the letter from Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau. It's been mine and Noga's joy and privilege to help carry Gene Roddenberry's extraordinary vision forward with Starfleet Academy, thanks to the hundreds of hardworking humans who pour every ounce of their talents into work daily with imagination and reverence. We are in post-production on now on what will be the second and final season. We're so proud of what we've accomplished together on this show, and the world will get to see the work of these extraordinary artists when season 2 airs. We will finish strong. Whether you're working on Star Trek or part of the Marvel that is Star Trek fandom, its very heart, soul, and conscience, the joy comes from adventuring across boundaries of space, time, and the humanly possible in service to Roddenberry's transformative vision of the future. That incomparable vision was fueled by an inexhaustible optimism. Star Trek places its bet on the best of human nature, and it dares to imagine a society of infinite diversity and infinite combinations, free of war, hate, poverty, disease, and repression, and dedicated to the spirit of scientific inquiry and respect for all life, whether carbon or silicon-based, grease-skinned or blue. But make no mistake, Gene Roddenberry wasn't some starry-eyed dreamer. He was a decorated Army bomber pilot in the Pacific Theater. He had seen firsthand the grim consequences of the worst of human nature, and his vision of the future wasn't just a promise of hope, it was also a warning. In a fraught, frightening time of intolerance and violence, Star Trek said, "Look, we made it, but just barely. First, we had to put all those ancient scourges behind us." It is said, "What makes us glorious as a species and gives us hope for the future of the galaxy is inextricably linked to what makes us dangerous to each other, to this one world we presently inhabit, and to ourselves. That dual message of hope and of warning isn't just a pretty dream, but a call to action, to think about who we are in a different way. Please don't take our word for it. Take Gene's." Star Trek was an attempt to say humanity, pardon me, humanity will reach maturity and wisdom on the day it begins not just to tolerate, but take a special delight in differences in ideas and differences in life forms. If we cannot learn to actually enjoy these small differences, to take a positive delight in those small differences between our own kind here on this planet, then we do not deserve to go out into space and meet the diversity that's almost certainly out there. With enduring hope that his vision of the future is possible for all children, their children, and every future cadet in Starfleet Academy, live long and prosper. Okay, so here it is. With this, you know, they say uh, with the end of this production and Strange New Worlds, they're saying that there's currently no Star Trek in production. I keep hearing rumors of Star Trek Year One that they would take that Kirk and that the young Kirk and crew would take over for Chris and his crew, but who knows what's going on with Paramount being bought and the new people wanting to put their own mark on Star Trek. Let's get you out here. I myself am sort of bittersweet of this. It was an interest. I liked it. I'll say right now, I liked it better than I liked Discovery. It's not saying much because I really didn't like Discovery at all, especially after Discovery went to the future. I expected to see a lot more of some crossovers between Discovery, especially with Tilly supposed to be in teaching at the Academy. We saw her in, what, 1 or 2 episodes? I think it was just one. There were some good storylines. There were storylines I wasn't really happy with. They took some liberties with some, like, with the Beta Zeds being able to have telekinetic powers as well as emphatic powers and uh, telepathy. But yeah, that's that's neither here nor there. I did like the idea of the holographic person. That there's a whole race of holographic people out there. That was interesting. I liked that they had a Klingon that wasn't a warrior, because there has to be Klingon. I mean, we've seen Colonel Worf in Star Trek Six, who was a lawyer. There have to be. We've also seen Klingon chef in Deep Space Nine. There have to be more than warriors in that society. There have to be doctors, bookkeepers. What else? Bakers, cooks, uh, delivery people, and shipbuilders. Uh, all those people have to exist. There has to be more than just the warriors and the Klingon Empire. Even if you know, even if during the Imperial period, before they really came across with against the Federation, if those jobs were done by other races, but we don't see that. It's nice to see that. I can't remember his name. Jaden was studying to be a doctor or somewhere in the medical field. He's a Klingon, but once again, they need the doctors. And it was good. It was that was interesting to see. I liked the command cadet who was flawed. She was definitely flawed, and then we found out that she lied, and she to get there. Maybe I can't remember if she lied to get to the academy or just her recommendations were lies. And then, of course, I can never Caleb. He didn't want to be there at all, and the only reason he was there was to stay out of prison, which made it a prison of its own until he grew into it. The doctor I wasn't really happy with. As much as he was there probably because he wanted the paycheck. I don't think I think they could have done another character. I mean, another holographic character, or maybe a Doctor Junior or something. Another iteration. If they can do it with a Time Lord, certainly they can do it with a computer program. And it was a beautiful show, which is today it's easy to say that because almost everything is beautiful, but the visuals were stunning. I don't like the ships. I will give you that right away. 32nd century Starfleet ships, I don't like the design of it at all. I think that was a mistake with the programmable matter, and I just don't like it. I don't like seeing the nacelles not attached to the starship. It just annoys me. I'm looking forward to season 2, although we've heard that Paul Giamatti's not going to come back, and then Caleb's mom's not going to come back. I don't mind that Caleb's mom's not going to come back. It felt like their story was done. Paul Giamatti, I would like to have seen, if this had gone further than 2 years, I'd like to see him come back as a recurrent villain, but yeah, that's neither here nor there now. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook. This even more than the show might have split the fandom, the cancellation might be splitting the fandom. So how do you feel about it? Are you are you happy that it's canceled? Are you upset? Are you bittersweet like I am? I'll say right now, I don't think there's ever been a Star Trek series that had a good first season. The original series wasn't bad. Deep Space Next Generation season 1 was really bad. Season 2 was worse. Deep Space Nine, fortunately, only had one really bad season. That was season 1. Voyager, I didn't like Voyager. I really didn't care for Voyager at all. But I think once again, once it got past its freshman season, it was able to stretch its legs and finally find out, what it wanted to do. Same with Enterprise. Enterprise might have been the least bad first season, although, what's next? What was after Enterprise? Discovery. Yeah, Discovery. Uh, during the maybe that was Discovery season 1 wasn't bad, but the rest of the series was awful. And my favorite first season, and it only had 2 seasons, was Prodigy. I think Prodigy was wonderful from the go, and that's probably my favorite of the new Treks is Prodigy. Although Strange New Worlds wasn't bad. It has bad episodes, but overall, it wasn't a bad first season. I am Bill West. I'm the man in the middle. Tell me what you think about this. You've heard me blather on for 17 minutes. What do you think about it? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you both? Let me know. And then I get this posted, and I'll see you in the inner sphere. You guys take care. Bye-bye.